because to me, it's like a super big deal. Even though you guys are great and it's not for you, I just try to make it right. When I go to restaurants sometimes, it's a good example of how customer service is. Last night, I got in, I told you I didn't get my steak until like, I was super hungry. I went in, I was doing social media, I didn't eat all day, did the costume contest, and I didn't get my steak until, they said it's an hour and a half. And we closed at 12, and this was 11. But to take an hour and a half to get food, I thought it was maybe like a tactic to say, never mind. I was like, all right, well, I need food. So my steak didn't come till 1, and it was like super burnt, and it was just like, I mean, it's, steaks in hotels, you just get what you pay for, So I was like, darn it. I was like, it's okay, I'll eat it, but let me call downstairs, and they were closed, and gave me a runaround. And the girl was like, no problem. We'll get you breakfast if you want. We'll call you exactly at 10. See, this is why I thought it was 11:30. So I was like, okay. So she didn't call at 10. I called about 10:10. I said, hey, y'all supposed to call, take care of it and all that stuff. She was super nice. Sent up like a whole bunch of stuff. That's just how I feel customer services. I found a hair one time in a sushi place where I went, and they said, no problem, sir. They gave me 10% off. They gave me like a $1 contest, and I'm not obligated to any of this stuff. Nor do I get paid for this because I want to, like a costume contest. I just go because I feel it's a good opportunity for me to reach non-Power Ranger fans. People that don't like Power Rangers. Not that they don't like it. I mean, I'm in a costume contest with 1,000 people, and not everyone is watch Power Rangers. So I'm able to convert them over, sort of say. They'll see me on there and they're like, oh man, I start watching now because I saw you up there and had a good time. And, so yesterday it ended about 10:30, and then I have no reception. So you know how that is. As soon as your phone blows, I got like 1,000 text messages and 1,000 emails, and then I look on Instagram and I'm like, oh, I gotta start liking pictures, and I just feel sometimes overloaded. So I was downloading the videos last night. It took about 20-25 minutes. And the reason why I do that is I just feel that it's like, I don't know, if I have downtime and I have like 2 hours of doing nothing, sometimes I feel a little obligated, not obligated, like guilty for not going out there and talking to someone. It's kind of like a waste of time, like a waste of brain, so sometimes I go on, but I actually enjoy editing, I enjoy filming, I enjoy talking to fans. I look at it all as like a hobby. So when people are like, man, you're always working, it's like, well, I like Instagram to relax sometimes, just to go on there, and I like to edit to relax. I like to film movies to relax. Even though it's all under the same umbrella, I like it. I like karate because, that's why I do karate classes. They're free, they'll always be free. Just to introduce you to karate to see if this is something you like to do. That's why I tied it into the social media website. One of the reasons I did the social media website that trained me JDF is that I had a few students that I used to teach on Skype just to see how it was. It was kind of weird at the very beginning, logging in and seeing the faces before, FaceTime. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, hey, it's just kind of weird, what's going on? All right, well, let's train, And so we started training. Anyway, this kid was pretty depressed, and this is what we look forward to, like every week. And I taught him about 3 times, and he took his life because, he was depressed and all that stuff, and it like crushed him. His mom called and did this little campaign for him, and she said he's absolutely loved you every week. Like that's the only time he can get away. And I was like, darn, I wish I knew more of that. Because he seemed really happy, like a happy kid. And I was like, this kid's got it together. But sometimes when you think people got it together, they really don't. And that's, that's like when you look at like, Robert Williams or all these other people, I speak freely on my behalf is that, my brother passed away. He wasn't extremely, happy with his life either. So I feel, that's my calling to kind of go out there and help people. Well, when this happened, I thought, man, there's so many people that want to train with me around the world that I want to try to get this social media site going so I can touch base through the internet, social media classes. That's the reason why I started it. And it's just, there's going to be life coaching on there, karate training, acting, stunts, and I'm able to reach people around the world because I was on a mission at one point to open every school I could in every area, but that's just like a cop hitting the street saying they're going to get every crib. It's just not going to happen. But I can reach people more through social media now than ever. Because if social media was around 20 years ago when Power Rangers started, it was a whole different machine. Things that you can tell, fibs and lies come out on social media. If you have something, then it should be on YouTube. That's just my simple point. If you have like 300 fights, warrior fights, it should be at least a picture. I see like a picture, there's cameras invented back then, That's just how I am, I really am. Like, oh cool, well, some people, when they tell me, I'm like, well, YouTube wasn't around. It's like, well, cameras were around? Even these kind of old cameras, We have 19 fighters, 1920 fighters watching, But anyway, so I wanted to reach out to the social media and all that stuff, and I just really feel that, you know, in every comment or every thing is the same to me. So it's not like someone needs to tell me like a sad story to feel happy, you know? It's just every comment's the same, from, hey, you were my hero, or, hey, I just liked it, from a kid, from being a kid that grew up, maybe had everything, that I had no problems in life, that, you know, I know I have problems in life, and, you know, some people maybe get lucky and they don't. You look at it and you're like, oh, man. To the people that have problems in their life, that watch Power Rangers, got through a rough patch of, you know, not having parents or abuse, and I hear it all. So, you know, from A to Z, it's all equal to me, if that makes sense. I'm not just here for the Z people, the sad stories. I'm here for the A people too. But I try to, you know, I teach equally across the board, and that's how I am on social media, is I'm equal across the board. The only people that really won't get attention from me is haters, but, you know, I might say something like smart butt about it, you know. What did I say the other day? Because we were filming the Operation Black Unicorn with Aaron, and that's kind of like my personality. You know, I say like smart butt stuff through the whole movie. I forgot what I said on it. Oh, when someone said about social media, you know, like all those negative social media, like, oh man, it seems like all your social media is going in one direction. I comment back, say, oh, I love that band. You know? They're just like, you know. Yeah, no, I was like, Jenna just went there. But just so you know that you know, I do care, and I don't really care about anything else except the relationships. That's why I want everyone to experience a good time. You know, and I was doing a VIP, and I was giving this speech, and of all times someone raised their hand and said, "Well, I didn't have a good experience." I'm like, ugh, of all times you guys say that like, in front of everybody. But it was, I guess she didn't get a hug. New York Comic Con, but Bill knows how busy we are at New York Comic Con. That's why I created these little groups, because sometimes it's like, hey, nice to meet you, man. Hey, you have to understand that each of those 30 seconds or each of those minutes that people might not talk, they might be nervous, they might be speechless, but I try to keep that engaged in conversation. And I was just like, oh, yes, you know. You know, they don't believe, well, they cut the line off like after an hour, and people were crying, and people were upset, man. Like, I came to see Jason right in front of the promoter. It was perfect. You know, you couldn't plan it better than that. And then I said, I'm staying. I don't know. Then I got really kind of upset. I was like, okay, well, it's cool now. Now it's not, because you all cut the line off, and I got to take care of them. So I just moved the line and did what I had to do, and probably got a lot of people upset in the beginning because they didn't have the space for me. That's kind of how everything started. And the people, you know, the fans embraced me, and they embraced my beliefs. You know, everyone else didn't believe in me, like everybody. And some people are saying that's just the way it is. And I go now to these shows, and I'm up against a lot of people. You know, look at the lineup. Here I am, there's 100 and something Power Rangers, and when I do shows with them, they're not flooded like my lines are. I'm wondering, how come? The blueprint's late for everyone else, but you have to bring your own personality to it. It's your personality that's going to sell the man behind the mask, not the toy. Why is the Green Ranger so popular? Like, in the White Ranger too, but I'm saying overall is because of the branding, is the way that they branded it, but also is because I'm passionate about it. You know, Amy Jo Johnson can be huge, even though she's huge now. If she just stepped up and embraced her fandom, she could be huge. But maybe that's not what she wants to do. I always remember with Amy, she's a real actress. And I remember that, and I was thinking, well, we're not doing a real acting job. And for her, it really wasn't. It was, you know, and it's cool. It was, you know, she's a real actress and does real things. You know, love her. I didn't get a chance to see her, but if I was her, I would be doing, you know, like pink ribbon cancer things. I would just really embrace who I was and try to help a lot of people and just reach out. But anyway, I can't speak for others, but I will speak for myself that I love doing it. I love staying positive, and I love teaching people things. And, you know, maybe today you grabbed one thing and said, hey, you know, I can do what I believe in. You know, is there any things that you guys, I mean, like, I'm not going to go around the room, but anything that you've ever done and people said you can't do it, that maybe you are doing it, that people
for example, doing a podcast.
Yeah, podcast, there you go.
It's a lot of hard work. It's just not get a microphone, be able to get it. There's a lot of research and you one of the first people of, you know, major importance to the show and whatever, you know. So this is
I would do the podcast, you just gotta give me information about it.
you have to do that. I just started like maybe 2 weeks ago. I got people in the UK down there. I'm nobody, but
You gotta start somewhere, man. Sometimes you make those connections because you believe in yourself. The belief came through here. You raise your hand. You ask a question. It's not on purpose. It's you know, I mean, it's an appointment, a divine appointment that you met mindset of friends, it's always what can you do for me? From every ranger to asking me to do this, to do that. It's just my life sometimes is so annoying when people just want me to do things and nothing in return. And sometimes in life you just give and give and give and give and give. It's nice to give a little bit, even with a good relationship, you know? So I'll be happy to do your podcast, man. And just keep striving to do what you can, because I'll tell you one thing, I know you're not doing a podcast to pay your bills right now, and I never started acting to do that. I started acting because I loved it. Like when I started, I was like, I'll pay you. Like, honestly, like I'll just pay you to be in this movie, you know? I want to do Power Rangers so bad, and acting is like my dream job. And look at the basketball players that get paid so much, millions and millions of dollars, they just love to play ball, and they're good at it. And you know, Michael Jordan is, you know, he was going through all being sick and all this stuff, and he just kept striving to do the best he can. And that's what I want to do. That's why I don't let the broken foot take me down, or I don't let nothing get in my head. Because if I do something, I want to do it the best I can. That's the reason why if I'm late, it's a direct to me, because it's like, yes? Well, I'll be right there. You know, you just sometimes got to be hard on yourself. And if you know, just keep striving, and be hard on yourself. That's just, you know, the way it is. But anyway. All right, do you have any questions you all have? Wait, we got your questions. Yes. Yeah.
First I want to say thank you for making my childhood amazing, because I had your karate tapes. I watched Power Rangers every week. My brother made fun of me for it, obviously. But have they contacted you at all about the remake of Power Rangers that comes out in 2016? I know you probably get that question.
You know, I'm doing media for all of them in San Diego Comic-Con. It's a big thing to let me come on and do all the media. You know, it means something. What it means, I don't know, but I'm handling all the media and all the movie stuff. And, you know, Robert even wrote that, you know, I'm on top of the list of the cameos. But I'm really working on a Green Ranger series. On a Green Ranger web series. Nothing too big, but it'll be huge. If they launch this in Saban and Lionsgate or whoever, Saban's on board. So we got that first thing clear. They're on board, so that's not an issue. So the next step is we got to figure out where we're going to take it and what we're going to do. But I need to get this thing going now. Not for any other reason except that I just want to get it going. You know, get this Green Ranger series going to show where my character's been before the Mega War. And I'll even ask you all going to wonder where, how it all worked out. I don't even know. You all figure it out. Yeah.
In your Green Ranger series, first of all, have you been in contact with Austin at all?
I've been in contact with Austin. I mean, I see him out there, and we haven't really, I want to chat with him, but we haven't really chatted too much. You know, there's obviously things, you know, between us, but there's no beef. It's not like I'm holding grudges at all. I just really believe that at one point, like, I believed in CM Punk. Like I was telling Bill, I believed in CM Punk when he said he wanted to fight. There was no hype. I was thinking, cool, let me get that thing set up. I'll call the manager. There's a huge manager, represents all the UFC fighters. And then that thing then the hype, then just nothing contact. So there was one point where, you know, we wanted to, you know, do this Ranger versus Ranger, because it's like 300 underground CIA fights and stuff. So we thought maybe we could work it out, but it never did. But no, it's not like we were like best friends and be like, hey, high five. I mean, the people that I got along with are the second cast members that came to my house and did stuff. I'm going to say right now, and I don't care who I say it to, I personally cannot get along with actors who hold themselves higher than anyone else. When you're extras on the show and you act like you can't eat with me, I don't want to associate. I'll come eat with you. My dad's a trucker. I never grew up with money. And that was never an issue for me. So when this whole strike thing went on, I wanted the money. I wanted no part of it at all because I felt like it was jeopardizing our job. I felt threatened. I felt like it was jeopardizing my job. You know, because we're all supposed to be a team. And what they do represents us. You know what I mean? Just like now, everybody represents the brand. So we all got to stay clean. You know, we all got to like uphold the high standards because people don't know the difference. We do, but the next thing you know, this Power Ranger did this or this Power Ranger said that, and I take the heat on it. Like, oh, are you the Power Ranger that said this? I'm like, well, sir, I'm the Green Ranger. I'm like, yeah, it was the Green Ranger. It was like different season. You know, so it's sometimes it gets mixed up, but I'm not in direct, you know, contact. One day, I mean, we'll chat. But
Can I just say?